Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today we're going to be talking about Vinco Ventures once more, going with the ticker BBIG. We're going to make this video short and sweet and with all the information you might need for next week. Now, we did talk about Vinco Ventures before. If you would like more details, you'll find my previous video in the description below, but watch this one first and let's jump right into this one. So BIG, their strategy is to buy, innovate, and grow. As if you've watched my videos, you would know before. Basically buy, so they acquire different companies, they innovate, they try to add innovation into the companies, buy different models, or basically determine the highest conversion traffic and target accordingly, and then grow, basically giving it some time with the resources and everything to grow quickly in a controlled environment. Now, moving on from kind of this one here, we did have some latest news that was back on September 21st, 2021, and I did talk about the NFT, the new one by the Grammy winners Omas Keith and Adrian L. Miller. And so Vinco Ventures and Immersive Entertainment also launched the first NFT streaming movie track or soundtrack. Remember, previously they also announced that they've put in the first NFT to reach platinum by Tory Lanez. And that was another thing as well that was first for them and first for the NFT platform. So they're definitely trying to go for NFTs and really trying to push through that. And the options are limitless for what NFT platforms they can go for with their platforms. Could it be gaming next? Could it be just additional soundtracks and become something similar to a Spotify marketplace or an Apple iTunes place? We never really know, but it does seem that that is a direction that they're going on. Now, another thing here, this is an in-depth view that you can go on. Vinco Ventures and Immersive Entertainment launches the first NFT streaming movie soundtrack, the same news, but it's on Yahoo, so you can just pause the screen and read a little bit more or watch my previous video. Now, the biggest highlight of this is that there's two options for this. The open edition, which basically is $3 purchase until October 21st, 2021, and the limited edition, which is $20 for 5,000 units sold, and includes open editions of ENFT soundtrack plus 11 tracks ENFT and additional other things such as a music video. And as we talked about this one before, exclusive items just for this limited edition contents. And another thing I do want to take a look at is BBIG search term in general. And we're able to see that currently, at least worldwide, the volume itself has dropped significantly relative from August 30th with that all the buzz, but it's still somewhat relative, around 16 to 24% a day currently. But if we were to take a look just for the United States, we're able to see here that the current volumes are around 1/3 of the peak in there. And if we were to go, let's say 90 days, we're able to see that relative towards the August 30th, you currently have only around 1/5 of the volume mentions of people searching it. So that itself, it still shows you a bit of volumes, but it really significantly dropped. But compared to before the massive jump, this is around 10 or 20 times more mentions than what you've seen before the entire rally. And some of the breakout kind of queries related towards it is SPRT as a stock, CEI, ATER, and any stock. And I kind of covered all these on my YouTube channel before, except ATER. I don't believe I did. But you're able to see as well that there is still somewhat of a conversation going on for this one. Now, on another thing is retail kind of coverage onto this one. It a little bit died, but it's on the weekend, so we still got a bit of people talking about the short interest flow. And this is, by the way, a little bit inaccurate. Just as we discussed before why it is, I don't think that this one has currently a short flow of around 260%, like this person here is mentioning. And others are talking about setting up for a bull run to $27. This person here is putting in even what I believe is an Elliott wave. And it's kind of trying to target in where the movement is. And yes, this would technically be an Elliott wave, but I don't think the channel is that extended in that sense. There's only one touch point at the bottom, two at the top, so it is an upper trend line, yes, but the bottom one is a little bit far-fetched. But they're mentioning here there's an inverted hammer candlestick in a pattern that appears on a chart where the buyer's pressure is pushing the price upwards. And that is true. That's what the inverted hammer is, and that is one of the last tickers we've seen. But that was back, I believe, last week, not even this week. And the stock did struggle a little bit after that, hitting 632. And we'll discuss this a little bit further today in the technical analysis part. Now, on another thing, retail itself is trying to push this one a little bit into saying that this next week will be the rocket, but you hear that every week. So we're going to understand a little bit of technical analysis and see where the volumes itself and momentum is going towards. But before moving on forward, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click the subscribe button on the bottom right corner and leave notifications on. It does help my channel a lot. A lot of you amazing folks have been watching but not hit the subscribe button yet, so please do so and turn notifications on for this channel. Also, you can drop a like if you've actually enjoyed this video, and if you would like to join a chat room where you can talk about stocks, you can find my Discord server in the description below. We're not trying to upsell you on anything. It's basically just a chat room in there. Now, SEC filings have been a bit quiet since my last video. The last one was on the 21st of September, really talking about the NFT Karen, I believe, album that was released by the Grammy winners that I did talk about. But in terms of institutional buyers, the last thing we heard was on the 24th. We did get some additional shares, around 25,000 additional shares. And on the short shares availability, currently just 50,000 shares short of 1 million shares available for short selling, with a short borrow fee rate of 25%. So this is really, really low. In terms of the short borrow fee rate, I've seen 2 or 3%, but previously, I believe 2 weeks ago, it was 150%. So it's quite of a drop there. You're able to see that the short selling volume in general has really collapsed to around 20 to 30%, showcasing that the short selling activity is no longer relevant in this discussion or as relevant as it was before. Let's move on towards technical analysis now. Now, from a technical analysis perspective, we notice a few things. First, on the moving average days. And basically, the moving averages here are basically a summary of previous averages in a way, whether it's simplified or exponential. So first off, it's the 10 SMA, the 10 simplified moving average days, which is in green here, and the 30 EMA, which is the exponential form, on red. And the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, which is bullish. And the 50 SMA is above the 200 SMA, which shows, based on historical movements, it's a bullish average. Now, there's also a trading action zone between the green line, the 10 SMA, and the 30 EMA, the red line. And that's where most positive reversals occur. Currently, that is closing in, and the gap between them is 750 and 660. If they do kind of revert and the 30 EMA becomes above the 10 SMA, that might signal in more of a negative trend. And currently, from 1249 to 632, it is currently on a negative trend of its own. Now, average directional index is currently at 3164. It's retracting significantly from the previous movement, almost at 50, suggesting that that bullish trend is really weakening out. On the Williams percent R, which is very similar to the relative strength index, you might know it as the RSI. And this one is showcasing the stock is highly oversold, suggesting that a balance in action would bring a lot more buyers in and push the price forward. And in terms of the MACD, it shows that this is on a very deep negative trend. Although it suggests that sometime within the next week or early on the week after, you might actually get a bit of stabilization and a positive trend back up. Now, momentum is currently at a negative pace at the negative 390. Now, we haven't seen this kind of much negative trend on the MACD, mainly because of moment and volumes, but it does show you between this and the stochastic fast and stochastic slow that there is a chance of pushing back upwards, and I will discuss this a little bit further in a second. Now, on the moving average bands, we're able to see that this one is expected to trade between 891 at the top, 810 in the middle, and 729 in the bottom. Using the chart of Fibonacci, we're able to see that on the support level on Fibonacci, 546 is 1 and 380. Resistances are 680, 814, and 1005, followed by 1249. Now, there's some key points you need to be very careful of. There's a critical support at the 603, and if it does break it, the one that would really easily break this one, 547, followed by 518. If these two break, that will be in a lot of trouble for a lot of people because it will trigger a lot of panic selling and stop limits. And then the only thing I can imagine after that where it could stabilize would be the 407, followed by around 325, followed by 277. Now, hopefully it doesn't go that way, but the lowest I can see it go in the near future is 219. Now, resistances. I think there is a very strong resistance around the 664. And if it does break that, it has a really good chance to go to 765 and then up to the 891 and then upwards to 962, followed by 999, followed by 1056 and 1107. Now, currently, we're able to see that there's kind of an inverted cup, and that is a bearish sign. It usually signals in a bit of a negative trend. But with a negative cup or inverted cup, usually there's a handle, so you might get a little bit of a push upwards. Now, coming in towards the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? Well, this is no longer fueled by heavy short selling, in my opinion. It's definitely fueled by panic selling, and you need to be very careful of. You cannot convince an entire major float and a lot of stockholders, millions of dollars worth, that they should not oversell or panic sell because of what you think or what the facts are. Sometimes emotions really play a trigger. And if it's people that are the bot, let's say around 347, 442, or even somewhere close to the 606, and they saw it go to 1249, they're filled with regret and their emotions might be sell and walk away and never look back. And so that is what's fueling it right now. Now, what do I think it's going to push forward upwards? Well, it needs an accumulation part. And I think that accumulation part is very key between the 606 and the 505. If it doesn't accumulate within there, I think this move is a little bit over and it might take a time for it to recover back. Now, what do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.